Yeah, man, you gotta get your water right because
Yeah,
we about to turn up.
I was like, I was listening to the countdown. I was like, don't. I was like,
Yeah,
I need water.
About to get turned up, man. So today, we about to just do a quick flip. You know what I mean, quick update, tap in on some really light but important topics. So introduce yourself so we can start running it up, man. I asked at the perfect time. Over there drowning.
No, I've drowned before. This ain't like that. I go by Internet Sage of Burn Station. I'm a part of Black and Nobel, and I also am the guy who has better freestyles in the corner. Currently did OK Cypher. Well, I was OK in Cypher. The music was great at a local event, Hood Folks.
Oh, right.
Do some other, like, you know what I'm saying, like I like different, like I've been going to different events.
That's good, right? You're doing
Wait, what was? Yeah, I was supposed to introduce myself. Yeah, I think I did that. Yeah.
So when last time I was rapping with you just on the phone and all of that stuff, you know, we was talking about mixing up some music. Crazy that we ain't never really did no music as long as I know you. You know what I mean? Because I was like, man, a lot of the stuff that I've been doing the last 3 years have just been trying to learn stuff. And like, we both was rapping when we met. So what's some of the stuff that you've been doing along your journey besides just rapping? Like, what skills you've been picking up?
I'm gonna start off answering that question by saying that I actually, as far as all of the like literary stuff, like, or linguistic arts, rap came last. Like I started off more as a story writer / like poet eventually, more than like when I was like what I would consider rapping, I guess. So I always kind of had that base. Like kind of as you said, I've spent a lot of time just learning, trying to learn. Like I've been binging like heavily on videos and different astrophysics topics. As far as experiences, I tried to get out in nature more. And when I say get out in nature, I mean just like getting outside of like 4 walls and coming in and trying not to, like, if I'm going to like overthink and breathe real heavy, at least I can breathe in some fresh air.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, you know, even when you saying them, and nobody's ever really talked about them, they can do a considerable amount as far as just your mental and emotional stability, you know, just to be able to just navigate your day. So, like you said, you know, definitely got to check outside more because Lord knows being in the crib too much make you go crazy. Inside, like you said, 4 walls is the way you said it, 4 walls.
Being like, and luckily, you know, I have like a place to be, but it's just like thinking about them 4, like just sitting cooped up, like not even cooped up, just because I don't got a car yet. But what you call it? It was like it was more of just even watching a screen, staring at the paint, like I don't know, just
it can get and the shoot. All right, so if anything, when one of the newest topics that I wanted to tap into and get your opinion on specifically is like, I know you've been hearing what's going on with these STEM players and Donda 2 coming out, or have you not heard of it yet?
Oh, STEM players.
Yeah, like, so Kanye West about to drop Donda 2, but it's not going to be on streaming platforms. You remember the STEM player he put out?
Yeah, okay, I'm relatively familiar,
Yeah, he's only putting his new album out on that item. So, first off, are you aware of that part?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what a STEM player is. Now that somebody asked me a question, like, I don't know what a STEM player is if it was already a thing in place. But I'm more aware of like the connotations of, oh, I'm only dropping my music exclusively here.
Yeah, okay. So the STEM player is like, it's an MP3 piece of technology that he I think he partnered with somebody. And what you can do is you can play the music on it, you can play the instrumentals on it. It's and it's finger operated, basically like touch. So like you can swipe it up, the bass goes up, you swipe it down, you can take all the bass away, you swipe it to the right, you take the vocals away, you know what I'm saying, you swipe it upward, you take the instrumental away, right? You're essentially stripping the music down to its stems, you know what I mean, and you can operate that from in the palm of your hand. Yeah, it's an experience with the music. So you can only get his album on that device. Like, so currently everybody's, today's the 21st. So it comes out on the 22nd. Currently everybody's updating their stem players so that they can get the new Kanye West album. So with that part being established, right? What have you thought of as I'm giving you that information there?
I would say in terms of implication of technology, I think that it seems like a pretty interesting idea. Like given the like from making the music perspective, having someone have access to your stems is kind of like, it's like one way or the other. I see it most of the time. It's like a 50-50 thinking like, oh, nobody can know what I'm sampling, or hey guys, welcome to my YouTube page. It's kind of like, oh, okay, alright, yeah, like, well, I think it adds interesting implications to like the creative aspect of listening to music, because if I'm on the aux cord, right, like I'll be kind of sitting there thinking about like, what if I like actually knew how to DJ, or like be able to like fade in and like mix on my, there's ways to probably do it, or maybe there's not, I don't know.
Absolutely.
But when I think of like some now learning what a stem player is, it would be interesting, like you just have a certain part in the car where you just have like just the bass come in, or you're playing it but you're playing with the music, right. Like it adds a creative element to it. I guess speaking to, I guess, semi-business fashion, I would probably, I don't know if I'm going to answer my own question, but I think it's like a question posed. Like I think it's, when we talk about people who have ascended certain barriers and like certain, not even just like tax brackets per se, that is one side of it, but like at what point do you look to support? Because from a music business perspective, stream music business by Brain Station, but from a music business perspective, did that song come out yet? Dang it. Anyway, no, music, well, anyway, it just is what it is. Yeah. Whenever it finally come out, or we could chop it, but anyway, I don't know. Music business perspective, like, all right, clearing samples and some of the different things you have to do as like an artist, or if it's all just, that also adds another layer. Do you have to clear samples? Are you paying for that? Who should pay for that in that regard? If he's a billionaire, but it's kind of like you don't necessarily want to take your own losses, but it's like, I don't know. I think it just adds to a different conversation. Like, I don't know. Like $200. Like if you're if you're personally a super Kanye fan and you want to pay that $200, I'm not going to tell you like, oh no, what are you doing? That's your prerogative to pay $200 for it. I don't necessarily, and I don't want to necessarily be on type of time where I would want to knock somebody for wanting to charge for the music. Like if a local artist, like I just said, like I hear a lot of amazing local artists here in Philly, like if one of them came up to me and was like, yo, I charge $200 for my music to be played exclusively on this one app, would I spend the money to do it? Maybe support, who knows, I don't know. Depends if I have the money at the moment. Everybody's situation is different.
I mean, shoot. Before we even get to the price part, right? I know they were saying that he had already sold, a considerable amount of them, right? Mm-hmm. however many that is. Like, so they're already in circulation. I've used one of them. One of my friends, shout out to Road Timmy, he brings them through, and we've messed with one of them before. And so one of the things that I thought was cool is, even if I don't have one, it brings in the experience, like you said, of how to listen to the music. It makes you want to be with somebody to get it. Because it's like, I'm hearing people say that they're going to pirate the music, but I'm like, how? Like, how are you going to do that? And so it was like, even like you said, you brought interest in dynamic too. If I were to have that much money to create such stem player patented technology, could I just put a bunch of illegal music on it at that point? Like, if I'm privately distributing it, like, yeah, can I just, you know? So that was an interesting thought. I'm pretty sure for someone like himself, no, you wouldn't even attempt to try to get something like that done. Like, you know, people are gonna listen to it. You know, people are gonna, you're gonna get sued. Like, you know, when Kanye West gonna get away with that, people will figure out what samples and all that. But, you know, just for the idea of other people, like, I've distributed music with samples, but because I'm on such a low tier, you know what I mean? I don't look to monetize it, you know what I mean? So it would be interesting, like you said, if you did a private sale. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, people somewhere around the world gotta be privately selling illegal music. Everybody, you know, it's a regular world.
I mean, it's on the internet.
Yeah, it's like, come on. So the next part that I thought of is, as it related to that element, was the you started touching on it a little bit, the revenue side. So he's already sold, now going into the pre-sales, over 10,000 of them. Apparently that would be the equivalent of selling 200,000 copies the first week on a major label, that's Michael Jackson numbers. That's unheard of, Tupac level sales. Like, no one sells that many records in the first week. So fiscally, he's, you know, doing unprecedented progress on an album. And like you said, the fan who can invest in him as an artist specifically, I mean, at this point in 5 months, he's given out 5 items in between a $2,000 to $1,000 price range. Like, it's not for the average consumer. Like, that's just not who it's for. Now, once you consume it, you probably become a commodity amongst your peers, you yourself, because you hold these items, they're limited and exclusive, and got the shoes and the boots and the hoodies, and, you know, there's that social equity that you gain having it. Where does that, I guess, influence your, like you were talking about it, the way you consume music? What is the way that you look to consume music moving forward? Is streaming how you like to get it? You like it in person? Do you like these private sales? Like, what would you like to, as a consumer, like we all love hip hop, how you like to consume your music? If you had a choice, like, you know,
okay,
you had the best choice that you could choose. Real life.
I'm just hold it for a second. I'm 16 bit. I think that I would say the way I consume my music is very spontaneous. To be honest, I do have streaming platforms. Like or at least I have Tidal personally. That's like one of the ways, but I grew up on YouTube, watching YouTube and stuff, and I've skimmed different mixtape players. Like, I've scoured the internet for like different stuff. But I also happen to grow up after the era of like singular releases on like these different websites and stuff like that. So like, where music, like after a certain point, certain stuff just either is on the internet or it's not. Outside of the internet, like, I still find myself in like different record shops, you know, picking through records that, whether I'm going to sample them or not, that's for another time's consideration. But something about still going to a record shop and picking up a record, even whether you know the artist or not. And I think that probably would be the main point. Like, it kind of goes back to each individual artist's standpoint. Like, and we can broaden the conversation to any artist. Like, So for in Kanye's particular case, at this point in his career, given everything that he's done and everything that he's seen, and he feels comfortable making this his price for this, okay, cool. If the particular consumer, like, if the fan that wants to buy that, they're gonna buy that. I think that would extend to any artist. Like if if Atmosphere dropped a $200 stem player, or if Mariah G's dropped a stem player, if Brand Station dropped a stem player and it's $200, it would come down to a question of what your particular fan base is like to pay for that stem player. Or not even just a stem player, but like even how you consume music now. Yeah, like how much do you pay for your streaming service? How much do you connect to the internet? Do you pirate? Do you no? Don't answer that. Respectfully, don't answer that question. But like just saying, like it would depend on that particular artist's fan base, and I would say that how successful you are with it depends on the timing in which you do it, I think.
Well, shoot. You got anything else you want to leave us with before we slide today?
Yeah. Learning how to try and talk with more meaning. I'm actively invested in seeing what the future holds, and a lot of great music on the way. And I'm also going to say, check out music, art, health, wellness, CMOS, gold, whatever you need, just go find it. Find something that make you feel even a little bit better.